One of the first things we looked at in growing a small grain was our herbicide residuals from herbicides we had used before in our corn and soybean crops, because a number of those herbicides have very long carryover or long planting window before you can plant a small grain or a different crop. And so we started by looking at those herbicides that we had used to see the possibility of what small grains crops we might be able to plant given the herbicide history of the field that we're on.
No-tilling oats and soybean stubble for beginner is just would be so wonderful and so easy. It just works really well.
We do a couple of different rotations. This field is part of a 3-year rotation of corn, soybeans, oats with an underseeding of clover that you might see coming through here. And again, that fits in very, very well into our fertility plans, our pest control issues, our weed control issues. It all works together in one big system.
Oats, that we used to raise was always as a nurse crop with a hay seeding underneath. We've continued to use that practice.
We do it the old-fashioned way. We plant that in the spring, let's say, and the old-fashioned way is to sow your grass seed or alfalfa or red clover or whatever, whether it's a cover crop, plow down, adding organic matter, or whether it's for hay the next year or next 2 or even 3 years. We just plant that all in the spring.
We grow spring barley in the 4-year rotation of small grain going to alfalfa that produces the N for the corn, back to soybeans, and then to the small grain again. That's our rotation.
Just grow fall triticale. It fits in my rotation. It's no-till drilled following the soybeans as soon as I can get it in the fall. And then I overseed it with red clover in the spring, and had really good luck with that. I get 80 to 100 pounds of nitrogen from the red clover, and then that's for the corn the following year then. So it's a 3-year rotation.
Well, we've been to this is the 3rd year now I've been putting 100% rye on everything, but the acres that I harvest for seed, we usually combine that sometime in July, and then I kind of strategically place them acres, so if I got some dirt work or waterways I want to do some shaping, I'll put it by them, and then I can go out there in the summertime and do my waterway work. And we had a field over at the other farm that we did some pattern tiling on this year, and it's a nice time of the year to do that. It's easier to get contractors in the summer than it is in the spring and the fall when they're busy, and it works good for that. If you're short on manure storage, you need a place to haul some manure in the summer. It's a good place to do that. It's just kind of versatile. You can kind of just back to thinking ahead what you want to do, and then kind of work it into the rotation.